So I'm going to assume we're recording now because I see a little red light down there.
Yes, I see the red light.
Welcome to the most must-see fantasy football ramble this side of the office.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, this is no competition to the other ones.
Number one top-rated office podcast for fantasy football. Yeah.
I'll take it.
Dispute me if you want to, if you can. But yeah, welcome in everybody. Welcome to your Week 11 review. My name is Garrett M. La Laguna. The M stands for Mephistopheles.
What was it?
Mephistopheles.
I'm not going to even ask her what that means.
One of the alternate names for Satan.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going with that today because I'm a salty, bitter man right now. So, you are?
I'm Tony Burgess. I was going to say Tony S. Burgess, but I'm trying to think of an S for something that was...
Chicanery.
Chicanery.
The S stands for chicanery.
Chicanery. No, it was a great fantasy week again.
Yeah.
Lots of fun matchups and a lot of interesting outcomes in our games.
Yeah, definitely a lot of
shaking around.
A lot of shaking around. A lot of people being unseated from playoffs. A lot of people getting into playoffs. And with 3 weeks left to go before playoffs right now, we're talking playoffs. Playoffs? Yeah, we're talking playoffs. But we'll get to that. We might do a actual fantasy ramble on playoff implications here coming up soon, kind of aside from everything. But this is your Week 11 recap, as it says behind me there. So we're going to get into that. And first thing we're going to hit, I think we're just going to go into standings.
Let's go for it.
Right now in first place, we still have Dave. Even though he suffered his second loss this week, sitting at 9-2, he is in first place. And we'll get into who gave him that loss this week. In second place, sitting comfortably at 8-3, is AVI Fantasy and Anthony.
Yes.
Sitting in third place is Mr. Chicanery himself at 7-4. Jumping up a spot out of fourth place, getting yourself a little bit of breathing room.
4 wins in a row, man.
Yeah. Jumping into fourth place was Jamie in Ossinipa Creek. Jumping up 3 spots with his win this week, which, I'm a little bitter and salty about considering I beat Jamie's ass like 2 weeks ago. He's now on top of me.
Yep.
And I think I know why, and we'll talk about that here in a minute, but yeah, that's just upsetting. I should be in fourth place right now. I am as salty as the Dead Sea right now. Sitting in fifth place, though, is me.
There you are.
Yep.
Just outside looking in.
Outside looking in, tied with Jamie at 6-5. Dayman Aaron is also tied with us at 6-5 after suffering his loss this week, dropping 3 positions out of the playoffs into 6th place right now. So it's going to be a struggle for Aaron to try and get back into this, but we'll see what happens here. Right behind Aaron, we have Jen. Rustling some feathers. She suffered a loss this week, sitting at 5-6, just under 500 now. Kind of sucks for her because she went on like a 4-game losing streak, then won 1 game, and then a 2-game losing streak.
Yeah.
So, yeah, from
not trending the right way.
No, second to last.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I see that's the way it's going to go. Right behind Jen in 7th or 8th place, we have Justin, my latest victim this last week, at 4-7, which, unfortunately for Justin, once again, with playoff implications and everything like that happening with this last loss, he is officially out of playoff contention.
Sad day.
Yeah, because I don't think he can. If he wins the last, there's 3 games left. He's still in it. Never mind. I'm talking out my ass.
A lot of things have to happen.
A lot of things have to happen. A lot of people have to lose. Like Dayman, me, Jamie, all have to lose many of those games. But Yeah, but Justin's still there on the verge. People that are no longer in the hunt at all. Aaron at, 3 and 8 there. Yeah, you just got to win over Jen, but it's ultimately for naught.
It's crazy how many points he scored.
He's scoring.
He scored over 1,300 points, which that would be top 4 or 5? 4?
Probably, let's see, ultimately.
1, 2, 3, I think 4. I'm thinking 4. Dave, AVI Fantasy, Jamie, and then,
And then him, and then, I'm just behind him as far as points scored. 19 points out of beating
That's
Jamie
crazy.
right
you
now.
You would be 4th place. You would be in the playoffs if it was all about points, but instead you're almost last and not going to be making the playoffs at 3 and 8. That's just how it works sometimes.
Yeah, that's how it works. And then coming in the rear is at 1 and 10 is not Justin. I expected that of Justin. Doug. Yeah, so Doug bringing up the back of the pack. And so those are our current standings right now, 1 through 10. Mm-hmm. So definitely a lot of playoff implications going on here in these next couple weeks. But for right now, we're going to get into what happened last week, how we got to this spot right here. So unlike the preview, we're going to start off with me because, as per usual, me.
That's always
me.
Mm-hmm. Let's go. Let's talk about you.
So,
Eat macaroni.
I changed my name to Eat Macaroni. I figured that was probably the best option that I had instead of something that could have been a little bit like office inappropriate. Start talking about crack in your office email or
probably won't be.
Yeah,
probably be frowned upon.
Probably a little bit frowned upon. But so I won this week by about 50 points, 50.3 points, 131.38 to 81.08. The standout players that I had this week, Lamar Jackson gave me 34 points. Bell getting me 18 points. Just kind of, average for him. It seems like that's just what he does every week. And Michael Thomas staying at keeping as the number 1 wide receiver in the league right now, just absolutely killing it.
We talked about it. He just is very consistent.
Yeah. Fastest player to 400 receptions in the NFL ever.
Yeah. I believe it.
Yeah, most receptions, most yards, most touchdowns, I want to say, in the first 4 years of any wide receiver in the NFL ever. So, I think that was a hell of a pickup for me. And, I'm absolutely loving Thomas. And then Cook for me. I took Jared Cook last week off waivers as a tight end replacement since Evan Ingram was on bye.
10 points? I'll
take 10 points for a tight end, man.
That you just picked up?
Yeah.
Take it.
And especially like 2 weeks in a row playing the waiver wire thing, I got Rudolph, Jesus.
Wasn't it?
No, it was Rudolph from the Vikings last week, who put up like 16 points for me last week. Cook put up 10 points for me this week. So, playing that tight end waiver wire and seemingly winning right now. Unfortunately for Justin, though, he had no real standout players. Mahomes got him only 15 points.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for him, Mahomes on Monday had to have the game of games, needing to literally get 66 points, doubling what his team had gotten before Monday Night Football, just by himself to have a chance at winning. So I was pretty comfortable going into Monday Night Football. But there's always that chance, man.
You always have to keep an eye out. You never know.
Yep. Good waiver wire pickup for Justin, though, with Cohen getting 16.8 points.
You're saying Justin?
Yeah.
Isn't it Jen? No? Justin.
No, it's Justin. C-Mac.
Yeah, I confused.
Yep.
Continue on.
Yep. Picking up Cohen this week, and Jamison Crowder got 16 points, too.
Cohen's always been kind of a toss-up because he doesn't get any rushing attempts, but he's such a good receiving back. He gets so many looks, and that's a good pickup, I think.
He did really well this week for what he had. Mm-hmm. So, in our next game of the week, we had your game.
My game.
Yeah.
I think this was game of the week.
Probably definitely came down to it because I was sitting there on Monday night just like, oh, man, Dave could potentially take this still.
He could have, but then Tyreek Hill got hurt his hamstring a little bit.
Yeah.
And Keenan Allen didn't do much. He got a touchdown, I think. I do remember
Keenan Allen did get a touchdown. Yeah, he did have a relatively good week. He got 10 points.
But Tyreek Hill laid a dud.
Yep, Tyreek Hill, big old goose egg for him. And then that Pats defense only putting up 11 points for him. Only 11 points for him.
Still.
Second lowest total of the year after the last game that they played against the Ravens, where they only got 4.
I mean, it's still crazy that 11's the second lowest. I think 11's solid for a defense for a week.
Oh, 11! If you get 11 points on your defense, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I'm doing like backflips and shit like that. I'm just like, yeah, you guys did great. No, anything more than 10 points, bonus.
Right.
So yeah, he had McCaffrey, who did get him 26 points. Elliott, who got him 19.9 points, almost 20 points there.
Yep.
But on his bench, couple of bad decisions there. He had Breeze with 21 points on his bench, as opposed to he played Deshaun Watson, who only got him 4.
Right.
And then John Brown, who I just gave up to. I just released him from my team off my bench.
You just snagged him up?
Yeah, snagged him up. I put up 30 points this week.
On the bench.
On the bench. Luckily, he was sitting on Dave's bench. And, I mean, who would think to start John Brown?
Yeah, he would have won.
Yeah, who would have thought, 30 points from John Brown at that? Yep. Nobody. But, I mean, your team had a relatively good week across the board. Nobody had a huge standout week.
Yeah.
But it was good and solid across the board. I mean, Murray had 27 points. Great pickup there. Hyde had 13 points. Parker had 17 points. And this is something that we will talk about here in a second. Gordon only had 11.9 points.
He did.
And, what do you think Eckler got?
More than that. I saw how many catches he had. He had over 20, I would imagine, 20 points.
Eckler
20 to 30 points.
had 17.7 points.
Oh, it's not nearly as much as I thought. Okay.
But still, I mean,
still good.
Who is the lead back?
Well, in terms of receiving, it seems like it's Eckler. But then Melvin Gordon seems to get the touches in the red zone for a touchdown. So it kind of goes back and forth, but they're both fantasy quality running backs.
Do you think Gordon's still trying to get his legs under him?
He's looking much better than he has the first couple of weeks. He is. He's. I'm feeling much more confident having him now. But yeah, I mean, it was a crazy week, man, because I had no Packers, so I had to do some fancy waiver wire pickup fun, and I picked up Parker out of nowhere because I picked up Will Fuller and he was hurt, so I had to drop him and then pick up Parker.
I tried to just send you a trade for him too.
He did, and I declined it instantly. I looked at it and I was like, no, I'm good. I'm gonna decline that. I'm gonna pick up Parker and we're gonna roll with it, and it worked fine.
So who did I try to send you for Gordon? There was two
receivers.
Was it just 2 receivers?
I don't even remember who they were. Oh, McLaurin, I think.
Oh, yeah, Terry McLaurin and Christian Kirk.
Yeah, and I looked at it, I was like, yeah, those are decent receivers, but Melvin Gordon, he's going to put up some good numbers here soon.
Potentially, yeah.
And then you also wanted who? You wanted one other person.
It was Will Fuller and...
Oh, you wanted Will Fuller, too.
Yeah, Will Fuller and somebody else who is kind of like... No, Melvin Gordon and Will Fuller. That's who I wanted, yeah. And I figured, since Will Fuller's not playing, it'd be,
Yeah, no, that one, I'm not even sure what those players did.
Honestly, when you look at it, they got you probably about the same that Gordon got.
Okay.
I want to say they got like 9 or 10 points.
But
so nothing crazy, nothing standout-ish, but...
No, I think Melvin's going to be valuable for the next part of the season.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Packer players come back next week, so I'll be back to my full
Back
lineup.
to looking pretty good.
Yeah. So we can continue on to the next game here. That's enough of a ramble of my stuff.
In our next game, we had Aaron, Vaughn's got a half chub, taking on Jen with Russell and some feathers. Aaron took this win by about 21 or so points, 123 to 96, or 123.96 to 102.6. So, it was a relatively good game for Aaron. Good points. His top 3 standout players, obviously Jimmy Garoppolo, getting 34 points. I mean, that's just something that he almost never does. But
he had to. They were down to the Cardinals for most of the game, so they had to start passing the ball. because that's kind of the 49ers. They've always been a run-first team.
They have been the top running team of the season this year.
Yep.
Most rush yards of anybody.
Which is crazy because you think of the Ravens.
Yeah.
With Lamar Jackson running all the time. I would think that'd be a good running offense or rushing offense too.
Yeah. But Melvin Ingram over there doesn't do a hell of a lot, but Gus Edwards had a good week this week. But back on.
Yeah.
So Jimmy Garoppolo had a great week. Kamara got 18.5 points. I expect more from Kamara. I mean, the fact that he's doing as poorly this year as he has been is kind of dumbfounding to me.
Yeah.
But yeah.
18's still solid, I think.
18's a good solid day considering, most of the top running backs end up somewhere in that neighborhood between like 12 and 20 points. So 18's a good solid day for him. And then the Saints defense got him 17 points. So yeah, those are his top guys. And as far as Jen's top guys go, Gurley, 21.3 points, had a killer week this week. And then Marlon Mack.
Yeah, but he's hurt. He's hurt now.
Oh, is he hurt now?
He broke his hand. He had surgery on it, I think yesterday. And I'm not sure when he'll be back, but it'll probably be a few weeks. It's the hand that he uses to hold on to the ball. So.
Okay. Well, we'll see what happens with the Colts backfield then.
Yep.
Kelsey had a solid week, 18.7 points. Travis Kelsey for her. And then Marvin Jones had an 18-point game for her. So, but I just wanted to point this out because this is a funny little stat. Those 4 players that I just listed, all on her starting lineup, got her 75 points, 75 and some change.
Yeah.
The other 5 players on her team only got her 27 total points.
Yeah, that's.
So, oh man, that sucks. When 4 of your players, half your team, does so freaking awesome, and then over half your team can't even
Can't pick up their share.
Pick up any sort of the slack. It really sucks. And she easily could have won if she had 2 or 3 more players put up what they were projected.
Right.
Just what they were projected, not even going above and beyond all crazy. So yeah, I just thought that was a funny little stat that I saw.
That's definitely a good note for sure.
So yeah, moving on from that game because frankly we just don't care. We care about our games.
Yep.
Yeah. So
moving on.
Anthony and Doug, AVI Fantasy against Leroy Jenkins. This was another huge blowout, 134.96 for Anthony
that's almost double.
Yeah, 72.44. So yeah, that was a high scoring game.
Right.
And I just want to point it out. We did have a water bet on this game.
Did we?
Yeah.
What was this?
I said that even though projections last week had Anthony just barely losing to Doug, I said Anthony was going to destroy him. And we made a water bet based on somebody else's game.
There we go.
So, yeah.
Gotta spin that wheel.
Yeah. Eventually, at the end of the season, I think we'll do a video with everybody because there's 3 or 4
you still
different.
Gotta do one for me from the beginning of the season, the very first video.
Oh yeah, I have 2 that I have to spin. You have 1 that you have to spin right now. Yeah. So yeah, we'll get to that. But yeah, Anthony's top performers this week. Prescott got 37 points, probably one of the top performers of the week. Eckler got 17.7 points, as I said. And then Michael Gallup got 19.3 points. Did really well.
Yeah, he's been kind of up and down throughout the season too, but he's been a good option for the Cowboys.
Yeah, definitely. Doug's top performers. So DJ, I'm not sure if it's Chark or Clark because...
Clark.
Well, here's the thing. In the fantasy football, everywhere it says Chark.
Does it really?
Yeah. Chark. So I'm not sure if it's Chark or Clark. I'm assuming it's Clark, but yeah, whatever. I don't really care.
Okay.
I traded him to Doug earlier in the year. Got 26 points this week. Yeah, killer week for him. Kenyon Drake going to Arizona and just taking that top spot. Oh man, that just pisses me off too because I traded for David Johnson. Mm-hmm. And now David Johnson's basically not playing anymore. Yeah. Meanwhile, there's Kenyon Drake, who I traded Doug for David Johnson.
And
now he has the Cardinals running back
Yeah.
again. So it's just like, son of a... Whatever. Don't care.
Don't care.
Yeah, but then, his third top performer, Brady, at only 8.64 points.
8 points.
Yeah, when your top three guys get you only about 45 points.
Not a recipe for success.
Yeah, especially when your quarterback's only getting 8 points. So, yeah, what can you do? Just kind of...
Just let it go.
Yeah, let it go. Do your thing, and deal with not making the playoffs. Go ahead and dismiss
overtime.
that. Yep, overtime. So, in our final game of the week, we had Ossinipa Creek against Dayman. Probably one of the other better games of the week, but this one was kind of determined on Sunday night. So nothing crazy that we had to wait for come Monday. But Ossinipa Creek took the win by about 20 points, 112.34 to 92.34.
Yep.
So literally a 20-point difference, which we'll get to that here in a second. I already talked to Aaron about it, but I'm going to go in. I'm going to stand on my soapbox, and I'm going to ride my high horse for something because you guys need to listen better. So, Jamie had 3 pretty big standouts this week. Ingram got 23.3 points. Matt Ryan, his quarterback, got 18.64 points. And then his Ravens defense, got 15 points. Probably would have done a lot better if he played Stephon Diggs.
Yeah, probably.
Got 25 points on his bench. But, I mean, he came away with the win, so you can't really complain. But now, here's where I'm going to complain. So, Aaron, your top 3 performers. Jameis Winston, 17.2 points. Respectable for a quarterback. Pretty average.
He threw a lot of INTs.
Yeah, he did.
Anyway.
Joe Mixon, 18.3 points. That's what I would expect of Joe Mixon. Steady throughout the season, right around 18 points. That's good. Cortland Sutton, 16 points. Respectable, especially for what he's done all year. Aaron took the chance. Sutton got him points. But now, I'm just going to go in and I'm going to say this real quick. So Aaron lost by 20 points.
Yep.
Last week on our Week 11 preview,
Right.
I made mention that Kenny Galladay, his wide receiver, was going to probably have a really bad matchup going up against the Cowboys.
He did.
And I would suggest possibly throwing in Calvin Ridley. Yeah, it's taken a little bit of a risk, but no risk, no reward. So, what happened?
Well, I'm pretty sure Galladay laid a dud.
Galladay laid a big old dud. He only got 3 and some change. I'm going to round it up to 4 points.
Okay.
Round it up to 4 points. You know what Calvin Ridley got sitting on his bench?
More than 3 points.
He got 28 points, giving us a total difference
25.
of 24 total points. Guess what you lost by, Aaron? Can you guess? Can you? Yeah. You got that number in your head? 20 points. Yeah. So what's the difference between? Oh, I'm getting a call from Morgan. Now look at that. Yes. Yeah. So, by my math, he probably would have won if he would have played Calvin Ridley, which I suggested. So going on from there, So that's what happened last week, and obviously we'll go into our preview this week, later in the week.
Yes.
But I just want to, last thing we're going to cover right now.
This helps.
That helps no one. So, that helps no one award. Who's our first? That helps no one award?
Candidate Josh
Allen. Freaking Allen, 35.54 points. Who would have expected that from the Bills' offense?
Aren't they going against the Dolphins?
Maybe, but I mean, I'm pretty sure they played the Dolphins earlier this year, and they just They suck. They suck. They suck. But Josh Allen got 35 points. Gus Edwards. Gus Edwards, the Ravens' backup running back, got 23 points.
Helps no one.
Yeah, helps no one, especially when Ingram gets 23.3 points. So, I mean, like, that's just infuriating. Our next, for the wide receivers.
Randall Cobb.
Former
Cobb.
Packer. Yeah, 19.5 points. Had a killer week. Apparently, all these teams that had really good weeks had 2 players from their team just blow up. Cobb and Gallup.
Yeah.
Ingram
Where's
and
Amari Cooper?
Edwards. Isn't he dead?
Is he?
I don't know.
Dead?
And then the Falcons defense. Who would have thought that the Falcons defense would have had 26 points this
Considering they've
week?
been literally, them and the Bengals, I think, have had the worst defense by far in the league this year.
Yeah, and here's the
and
really,
offense too, probably.
here's the really funny thing about that whole situation. Dan Quinn comes in as their head coach, defensive-minded coach, part of the Legion of Boom and that whole thing from years past over in Seattle. He gives up play calling on defense these past 2 weeks, and they have had hands down the absolute best defensive weeks that they have had this
crazy.
year.
How-
So, Dan Quinn, you just signed your death warrant. Have fun with that. Okay, so I think that should probably call it for the day.
We got to end it.
Yeah, we're way above time, probably going on 26, 27 minutes at this point, but I don't care. So it's not like anybody listens to these anyway.
Nope.
Looking at you, Aaron. Today's word of the day. You know what? I really liked what I used for your word. Chicanery.
Chicanery.
Chicanery. And, yeah.
Has anyone given you word of the day except for week 1?
Not in the past several weeks. Nobody's really gave me any sort of word of the day. Of course, I've missed it for a couple times. But chicanery. If somebody comes up to me and tells me chicanery, I will give you David Johnson.
Wow.
Not that means anything right now. So, as per usual, my name is Garrett M. La Laguna. The M stands for Mephistopheles.
I'm Tony Burgess. Signing off.
Yeah, so have a good rest of the week, and I don't like you. Go away.